All fight week long, all we were hearing from the Billy Joe Saunders camp, from the Billy Joe Saunders fan base, was that gypsy fighters do not quit. People from the gypsy heritage or gypsy race, look, I'm an American, I'm not really sure about the United Kingdom's demographics, but my understanding is that gypsies are travelers. They travel from place to place in seekage of homes. I'm not really sure. Forgive me for my ignorance if I don't understand the thing. But what's also been made clear to me is that they're fighting men and that they don't quit. And that there's never been a gypsy man that quits. Take a look at Tyson Fury, how after he got dropped by Deontay Wilder, very hard. 99% of heavyweight fighters would not have gone up. And even if they did, they would have been overwhelmed by the following attack. But Tyson Fury got up, and he continued to brawl and maul with Deontay Wilder, and which really set the blueprint for the Tyson Fury vs. Deontay Wilder rematch, where Tyson Fury destroyed Deontay Wilder over 7 rounds. Billy Joe Saunders in a fight where arguably, I know not many people agree after watching several posts online, arguably was ahead or even with Canelo, or was at least competitive. Like it was earning. Like I've never seen Canelo in this much trouble. I've never seen Canelo get hit this many times clean in my life. Not ever since he fought Floyd Mayweather Jr. It's been 8 years. I haven't seen Canelo Alvarez get hit this much. He was going to get hit flush. He had Canelo timed. He has his head movement timed. So he fought really well. He kept on hitting Canelo. He kept on avoiding most of Canelo's best shots. I know several body shots landed, but guess what? I don't count body shots. And most people don't count body shots like they count headshots. I know the judges, all 3 judges had Canelo up, but they only had him up because he was Canelo Alvarez. If you switch the names and Billy Joe Saunders was just landing to the body and Canelo was landing to the head, guess what? It would have been the opposite scorecards. Because I had the fight 5 rounds to 3 following round 8. I had given Canelo rounds 2, 4, and 8. That's it. Right? I had given Billy Joe Saunders round 1, 3, and then 5, 6, and 7. And I thought that Billy Joe Saunders could have regrouped after he got hit with that big right uppercut that hurt his eye and came back and probably have beaten Canelo, maybe even stopped Canelo, because Canelo did not look good in that fight. Canelo has been looking really good against fighters like Avini Yildirim, against Callum Smith, fighters that just stand there and wait to get hit. Fighters who don't have a jab, fighters who have no upper body movement, fighters who have no foot movement. He looks really good against those type of guys. And I criticize Callum Smith a lot for not giving any effort. But Callum Smith at least did not quit, even after he got a torn bicep. He didn't quit. Billy Joe Saunders, after talking all that talk about gypsies, how they have heart, about how, like, even after following the Daniel Dubois fight, he says, I would rather leave the ring without a pulse than take a knee. But what happened after he got hit with the first hard shot of the fight? He quit immediately. He probably would have been knocked down around 9 anyways, but he chose to quit rather than go on his shield. I got no respect for that, man. Especially after you talk so much, especially after you negotiate for a bigger ring. I ain't got any respect for him no more. Billy Joe Saunders should be ashamed of himself. Billy Joe Saunders really brought shame to the gypsies and to all UK fan base. Especially since he was coming in here, he says that he's going to be the first fighter to win. He's going to be the first fighter who actually wants to win, fighting Canelo Alvarez in years now. And I agree. I've always said that the last fighter that came who wanted to win against Canelo Alvarez was Danny Jacobs, and Canelo squeaked out a win against Danny Jacobs. I had Canelo winning that fight 7-5. 7-5 or 8-4. Like, it was a competitive fight. Canelo was the clear winner, but Jacobs did give him some problems. Before that was Golovkin. I had a 7-5 also for Canelo. Like, it wasn't like he was dominating everyone. Until he fought Sergey Kovalev, who came off 9 weeks, coming off a grueling war. Then he fought Callum Smith, who had only a 4-week training camp. Then he fought Evan Yildirim, who no one really ranks. Well, he fought Billy Joe Saunders, who just had a fight in December, looked good in that fight, who was coming off a 4-month training camp. Like, he knew he was going to fight Canelo Alvarez right after the Callum Smith fight. And the Callum Smith versus Canelo fight and the Billy Joe Saunders versus Martin Murray fight happened on the same weekend. So it's not like either guy had more time to prepare. Billy Joe Saunders had more than enough time to prepare for his fight. He should have been mentally and physically prepared. And he looked mentally and physically prepared in the ring, but the second he got hit, he had no heart. Because you got to go after what Mike Tyson says. Everyone has a game plan until they get hit in the mouth. In this case, everyone has a game plan until they get hit in the eye. So the second Billy Joe Saunders got hit in the eye, he was looking for their way out. He barely survived round 8, but he still survived the round. I thought that the 60 seconds would have been more than enough for him to regroup. But sadly, he chose to quit. He took the easy way out. And he should be ashamed of himself, because he was even telling Canelo Alvarez during the weigh-in, he was playing to his heart. He's like, you've never fought a fighter in your career with this much heart. You're mistaken, Billy Joe Saunders. He fought Gennady Golovkin twice, who at not a single point of that fight thought about quitting. Billy Joe Saunders was feeling the pace in the rematch. He looked his age, but guess what? He railed back late in the fight, even though he was hurt, even though he was old. Liam Smith got dropped 3 times hard, but came and tried to come back and fight. You shamed yourself, Billy Joe Saunders, and please retire. Like and subscribe, of course. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Billy Joe Saunders should continue on his career? Do you guys think he should move up to light heavyweight? Or should he just retire? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, of course. I'm Sadiq Boxing, out.